All right, let's talk about something that can either make or break a business: inventory. Now, we often see it as just a number on a spreadsheet, right? But today, we're going to reframe that. We'll see how a simple shift in perspective, viewing inventory not as a passive cost, but as a powerful strategic tool, can unlock some serious profits and give you a huge competitive edge. Let's get into it. So, I want to start with this question. On paper, sure, your accountant lists inventory as an asset. But let's be real for a second. What happens when that so-called asset is just sitting on a shelf, gathering dust? Is it actually creating any value? Or has it become a liability in disguise, quietly eating away at your resources and tying up your cash? This is the critical, strategic question every single manager needs to be asking. And this brings us to what I like to call the Goldilocks problem of inventory. You know the story, right? Not too hot, not too cold. Well, here, if you have too much inventory, your cash is basically frozen, trapped in unsold goods. But have too little, and you're not just leaving money on the table, you're literally sending frustrated customers straight to your competitors. Finding that sweet spot, that just right amount, that's where the magic happens. That's where you maximize profitability. So let's really dig into the two extremes of this inventory spectrum. We're talking about the twin dangers of overstocking on one side and stockouts on the other. Understanding these pitfalls is the absolute first step to mastering the whole art of inventory management. Okay, first, let's talk about what I think of as the silent killer of profitability: overstocking. I mean, think about it. Every single unsold item sitting in your warehouse is a missed opportunity. That's cash that could be fueling your marketing, your R&D, your growth. Instead, that capital is trapped, and all the while you're paying for storage, insurance, and just hoping that product doesn't become totally obsolete. Now, let's flip the coin and look at the other side: the dreaded stockout. We've all been there. An empty shelf is so much more than just a missed sale for today. It's really a broken promise to your customer. It sends a pretty clear message that you can't be relied upon. And in a world with endless choices, that one broken promise can cost you a customer for life. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? Take a look at the two columns. Overstocking is kind of like a slow internal bleed on your finances, just draining your cash. Stockouts, on the other hand, are like a sudden external punch to your reputation and your future sales. Both are poison to your bottom line, which is exactly why finding that perfect balance is so incredibly critical. Okay, so how do we get off this inventory tightrope? The good news is it's not about luck or just guessing better. It's about having a clear, actionable strategy. So let's dive into a practical playbook that will help you find that just right balance and really start turning your inventory into a competitive advantage. The secret to mastering inventory is to shift from being reactive to being proactive. First, you have to use data to truly anticipate customer demand, not just guess at it. This lets you order intelligently. Second, you gotta do regular stock takes. And this isn't just about counting stuff. It's about making sure your data is accurate so you can make good decisions. And third, you leverage automation. This gives you a real-time, accurate picture so you can make smarter calls faster. Now, for a truly game-changing strategy, let's look at just-in-time, or JIT. This isn't just about tweaking your inventory levels, folks. It's a radical reinvention of your entire supply chain. The goal here is to have parts and products arrive at the exact moment they're needed. Not a day before, not an hour before. It's like a perfectly synchronized ballet of logistics, all designed to eliminate waste. And this is the power of JIT in action. By eliminating the need for these massive warehouses full of stock, you're not just slashing storage and insurance costs. You are liberating huge amounts of capital that can now be reinvested directly into growing the business. It's a lean, mean, and incredibly powerful way to turn inventory from a burden into fuel. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, it's time we stop seeing inventory as some necessary evil or just a cost to be minimized. We need to start seeing it for what it truly is: a strategic asset that can be leveraged. When you manage your inventory with foresight and precision, it becomes this powerful engine for growth, driving both your financial health and your competitive advantage. This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? Effective inventory management is a delicate dance between financial prudence and customer delight. Every decision you make is a trade-off. See, the costs in that quote, that's your overstocking risk. The customer satisfaction, that's your stockout risk. And your ability to strike that perfect balance, well, that's what separates the good from the great. So at the end of the day, why does all this matter so much? Because when you get inventory right, you're building a stronger, more resilient business. It's that simple.
You're protecting your cash flow, you're maximizing every single sales opportunity, and you're forging these unbreakable bonds of trust with your customers. And all of that is the recipe for long-term success. So, I'll leave you with a little challenge. The next time you're in a store or you see a product is sold out online, I want you to look at it with a new set of eyes. Ask yourself, are they getting it right? Are they finding that just right balance we talked about? And what could they be doing differently to turn their inventory from a simple cost into a real strategic weapon?